Hello. This is Dr. Carla Michelle, and it's such a pleasure to have this time with you. Welcome to the Strong Network podcast. So, I want to talk about feeling invisible. I'm going to ask you, do you feel invisible? And where are you in life? I remember a time, when I felt invisible, and I was sitting here outside getting some sun on this wonderful day and thinking about when I felt invisible, because now I feel so seen, and I wanted to know what was the difference. So allow me to just discuss and maybe support you, and hopefully support you if you're feeling invisible or you know someone else who is. But when I felt invisible, when I didn't feel seen, and it started, I remember journaling, and I felt like God didn't even see me. It's like, God, do you see me? I remember asking, and I probably talked about this before, but it hit me again, so someone must need it. I remember asking God, do you see me? And do you see, don't laugh, do you see my worth? Do you see my value? Do you see me even in the midst of chaos? Do you see me when there seems to be confusion? Or do you see me when I'm being misrepresented and lied on? Do you see me when I feel hopeless? Because I believed and still do that if I'm seen by God, if I'm seen by who I'm supposed to be seen by in this season of my life, that then I'm on the right track. Then I had to realize, I remember saying another prayer of God, hide me. Now, what is that? Now, do I want to be hidden or do I want to be seen? So I want to say the first thing, what have you been asking for? Have you been asking to be hidden, to be covered, to be, to not be impacted, to not, whatever would fall under being hidden? Have you asked for that? Because I just realized today as I'm journaling, like, you know what? I asked to be hidden. I asked to not be seen. For whatever reason, it was probably more because I was in a healing process. And I just wanted to have just time with me. And I didn't want to be seen, and I didn't want to be bothered, and I didn't want to have to deal with whatever was out there that at that time could only imagine what it was that was making me want to hide. So ask yourself, if you feel invisible, have you asked not to be seen? Have you asked to be invisible? Have you asked to kind of just slide by in life and not make an uproar and not, bring change? Have you asked that? And if you have and you're ready to be seen, well, it's time to ask to be seen. It's time to make those goals and have some adventure and to get out of hiding. Because you cannot blame anyone. You cannot blame God. You cannot, but anyone point the finger at yourself, because somewhere in there you must have asked to be hidden, to not be seen, to be covered. So if you're ready to be seen, to be uncovered, to get out there, then make that move. So that's one. I want to say, if you're feeling invisible, check what unconscious contract you have made with yourself and God, or whoever you see as God. And did you ask to be hidden and ask to be seen again? That's one of the things that I have on my daily calendar, my written daily, even my Google. At the top, they know me and they see the good that I do. They know me and they see the good that I do. Because I realized it was me who was hiding. So they know me. They don't just know me, but they know me and they see the good that I do. The other one is, if you feel invisible, is it because of lack of confidence? Is it time for you to step up and step out? Is it time for you to start having those conversations that represent who you are so that you are seen? Let's go into the workplace. Are you silent at the table? And then you're getting mad because no one is seeing you? Or are you throwing out some ideas after ideas and no one is seeing you? Or they're like, oh, that's great, but they're not utilizing, or oh, that's great, and they use it and don't give you any props on it. So where's that confidence to have the conversation of, hey, I'm giving you these ideas and I see they're being used for other people or other things. I would like to be recognized for the ideas that I'm bringing to the table. And for you, if you've been hiding or you've been silent and not necessarily using your voice like you know you should, that could sound difficult. But it's one thing at a time. Do it in your one-on-ones. Do it, find your mentor or a sponsor or someone who's championing you. And if you don't have that, do the work of saying, I need to speak up for myself and I need to voice what I need. Many times with working with clients, they have not even voiced what they needed, what they wanted. And yet they get angry when they're overlooked. And yes, you can be overlooked. You could be even overlooked if you speak up. But the thing is, speak up. So when you do quit and you do get that better position and you do get that better pay, at least you know you put it out there. Now let's move into confidence when you're in a relationship, friendship, or it's a lover. And when you don't feel seen and you're not speaking up. Same goes. It's time to have the sit-down conversation about what you need. Now, it also stands to be true that if you're speaking up and they still do not see you, well, it's time for you to see yourself, possibly right out the door. Now, okay, so if you're married and stuff like that, even not just married, I shouldn't even say that. There's steps to this. It's not just running out, but there's steps. If you haven't ever spoken up, it's time to speak up. If you've been speaking up, there's other things that you may try. Now, I'm not saying you stay there and you tried everything, but I think you would feel better if you know you gave it your all. And that's one thing that you want to do when you don't feel seen, is to make sure that you've done everything within your power to be seen. Now, being seen does not mean you're just out there being very interesting. I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying you're flaunting things or, you're not using your best assets to be seen. You get what I'm saying. I'm saying being seen in the talent and the gift that you carry, in the abilities that you have, in the insight, in the talent that only you've been given and that you shine at. If you have, it has not been seen. It's time to let it shine. The other one is, if it's confidence, it is growth. So you used to be seen. You're killing it. You're at this job and you are just making just beautiful things happen. You're in a relationship and it was just going so well, but now you're in a place where you're stagnant, bored, and they want to keep you in this spot. They want to keep you in that position. You've cornered yourself in a situation by always being that yes person and always taking on that assignment and always being available in that relationship that's not been always available to you. And it's time for growth. Let me tell you about growth. And if you heard any of these episodes on here, I will talk about growth and how uncomfortable growth is, and those growing spurts, and how uncomfortable it is mentally and emotionally, how you find out so much about yourself that possibly you don't like when you're growing through the growing pains. But one thing I've found, and I live by this, when my life is confusing and I can't figure stuff out, things are coming at me from left to right, that to me is a sign of a growth spurt. That to me is a sign of the next level. And so I do my best to welcome it. See, I got to giggle a little because it is not always easy. It is not the simplest thing to grow. But yet, how boring life is if we do not take the time to expand. And to be seen, you need to expand. To be seen, you need to grow. To be seen, you need to be creative. To be seen, you need to have a strategy. To be seen, you need to utilize your talents. To be seen, you need to be resilient. To be seen, you got to be optimistic, because you can lose hope in the process of growth and becoming more visible. But you have to know that one day it is going to pop. It's that one day. It's that one moment. And you never know, sadly, when that moment is going to come. But you can feel that you're getting closer, right? You can feel you are getting closer. And another thing, because I'm doing strong here, if you haven't figured it out, strategic, the T, talented, R, resilient, O, optimistic, N, necessary. If you're feeling invisible, you got to get back to believing that you're necessary. That you're necessary. And maybe you don't have to do some big old rebranding, but maybe it's just you being you at that next level that you've been holding back on. That your words that you've been saying out of your mouth have not been aligning with where you want to go. That your thoughts have been holding you hostage to being seen. When you go out, you're hiding. You're intentionally, getting there at a time where you can blend in at a meeting, or you can, you sit in the back. You don't carry a conversation with anybody. You keep your head down. It's time to be seen. And it's time to stop feeling invisible, because, as we say, you're the architect of your life. So build something. Build it. Build the life you want. Live the life you want. Be center stage of the life that you want, and you know that you, I don't want to say deserve. That's the word, but I'm really going to try to use something else. Live the life that you know you've been created for. Somebody needs you. A company needs you. A person needs you. Something that you have. So you're looking at being seen. Now, I want to touch on this. You can be seen. You can go back and you can discover that you've been asked to be hidden and not seen. You've been hiding in dark corners and don't want nobody to see. You haven't been going out. Maybe you gained weight, or you don't look good, or you're going through something with your hair, your face, your body, your car, your money, and you've just been hiding. You got to figure it out. And you got to get out, and you got to live, because that keeps the good stuff cycling in your life. If you're at home being, what's the word when you stay at home and you hide? But when you stay at home and hide, you're not circulating the goodness that wants to take place in your life by being out. And I'm not saying you got to go party. I'm just saying being out. Being good to people, giving someone a smile or receiving a smile, giving a hug or receiving a hug. Get out of the doom and get out of the gloom. Get out of the hiding. Get out of the dark space. Get out of the dark place in your mind. Get out of the dark talking and get back into that confidence. The confidence that you need to speak up, to speak your truth, to speak up to something that is abusive to you, that you no longer want to deal with, something that's been dark in your life and that you have not faced, that you know it's time to face and to remove yourself from that. Don't no longer be invisible. It's time to grow. It's time to take on new heights. It's time to take on challenges that are invigorating. Not just challenges that challenge you in a bad way. Take on the challenges that bring you life and resuscitate your dreams. Now, you're no longer invisible. You got to find the harmony between, let me reword that. You've got to find yourself and keep yourself. I'm going to say it that way. Find yourself by becoming visible and keep yourself visible. Maintain a pace that is healthy. Don't overcommit, don't undercommit, but have your boundaries. Know how much you can take of someone or something and remove yourself or move forward or move on. Always stay in tune with who you are and the power that you carry. Always do your best to stay in that power position where you're looking down at issues and you're looking down at darkness and you're looking down at things that would try to control you. That boss who is just giving you the worst projects. That boss is not giving you any projects. That boss is giving you the worst, the new year. So you're getting your development plan and the stuff that they're giving you is just crazy that you need to accomplish by the end of the year to get your raise. But it's okay. If you're not going to switch jobs, you got to see that it's going to be okay and that you have the tools and the resources and you will get them and you will make them aware. You will make yourself aware to what you need to get to that space that you need to be at the end of the year. So you can get that bonus, so you can get that raise, so you can get that bump, whatever you're looking for. Stay on top of it. Stay in your power position. So, grab something that meant something to you. Hold on to that. Run with it. Write it in your journal. Share it with a friend. Stay strong. Stay as much as you can focused. The year has just begun and it's only going to get better. So, stay visible. And thanks for this time. Thank you for taking out the time. Don't forget to share it with someone you love or don't love. Share it with a friend, a colleague. This is Dr. Carla Michelle. I hope that you would also give us a 5-star rating so that we can stay in tune with the algorithm. And I appreciate you. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, I can be reached at hello@drcarlainc, drcarlainc.com. Or you can follow me on Instagram at Ms. Carla Michelle, MS Carla Michelle. And I'm on TikTok and all the other stuff and get some motivation from there as well. I will talk to you soon and have a great one.